In honor of Halloween, we're going to talk about some Greek and Roman folklore. So what is folklore? It's different from mythology and legend. It's stories that pass down from person to person. They aren't necessarily religious. They aren't necessarily, dealing with famous people, but they're stories that get passed down. And they often reflect superstitions of that culture. You might remember, opening an umbrella inside is bad luck type of thing. So a superstition, it's the belief of supernatural causality, the idea that this weird thing will cause this weird thing to happen, and it makes no sense, and it would obviously have to be a supernatural reason. So some examples in your life, can you think of any? So opening an umbrella inside, as I said earlier. You breaking a mirror, bringing 7 years bad luck. Bloody Mary, if you say Bloody Mary 3 times at midnight in a black room in front of the mirror. Spilled salt, that you toss spilled salt over your shoulder, or you'll have bad luck. Knock on wood, if you say something that you don't want to jinx it, you knock on wood. So omens. Omens, they're signs from God or the gods, depending on your religion. And soothsaying is one form, and soothsaying is when you read the entrails of animals, meaning you cut them open and you're like, this liver has 4 spots on it, that's a bad omen. Or this liver has no spots, that's a good omen. Meaning you ask a question, think of it like a magic 8-ball, except you're reading organs instead. So entrails of animals. Augury, this is the flights of birds. Like, I see 4 eagles in the sky, that's a good omen. I see a bunch of vultures in the sky, that's a bad omen. And we get the word inauguration from this because you could only hold elections in Rome if the augur, the person who read the birds, said that the birds were lucky enough to have the election. So we have the word saga. Now saga, we think of like a big group of stories, but the word saga in Latin actually means witch. So you also have strix, which is a screech owl, that oftentimes the two are the same. They saw screech owls as being witches. They're not explicitly evil, they're only evil if they're out to get you. So if it's on your side, the witch is good. If the witch is not on your side, bad. And they're very concerned about the evil eye. So you might go to if you think someone has cast the evil eye on you, you might go to a witch to get that evil eye taken off of you. Okay, then we have Lamia. Now, in Greek mythology, she was a Greek woman who had several children by Zeus, and Hera killed her. The children Hera then killed, and so Lamia then seeks out other women's children to kill in revenge, and so she's sometimes depicted as half snake. You can sort of see in that picture that there's a snake skin around her, and so she becomes this sort of boogeyman. Like, don't, be careful, or the Lamia will come and eat you. Then we have Hecate. She is the Greek goddess of witchcrafts and crossroads, and she's a chthonic goddess, which means she's from the underworld. And she has 3 faces, so one looking in 3 different directions. And then we have Mormo. Mormo is a companion to Hecate. He's also a boogeyman type character. This is actually not a picture of Mormo. This is Kronos eating one of his children. But he does something similar. He bit naughty children, so it's like, you better be careful or Mormo's gonna bite you. Empusa is the daughter of Hecate and Mormo, and that's early on, and she seduces young men and drinks their blood like she's a vampire. But later on, she just becomes this monster, a group of monsters that are commanded by Hecate. So she will send one of her Empusa against you. And they're guards of the crossroad, and if you wander off the path, they're going to eat you. So Lycaon, as you can probably see, he's probably a werewolf. He's a Greek king who invited the gods to a feast, and he tries to feed them the flesh of his son to kind of trick them, and that never works out well for people who try and do this. So as a punishment, he's turned into a wolf, and we get the term lycanthropy from this. So anthropos meaning man, like meaning wolf. So wolf man. Ghosts, ghosts. Manes are the, not mayonnaise, manes are the spirits of the dead, and that's a neutral term. It could be good or bad. The good are the lares. These are the spirits of your dead ancestors who look out for you. They're often worshipped in a household shrine called the laurarium, and you would leave little offerings of beans or some wine just to appease them. But if you don't appease them, they become lemures or larvae. These are bad, and you would have to appease them during the festival Lemuralia, which is when you would get up in the middle of the night, throw beans into dark corners and bang on pots and pans trying to scare them away. So some Halloween derivatives. So the word calidus, calida means warm, and we get the English word cauldron from it. The word convenio means to come together, and we get the word coven, coven of witches, you might remember. Daimon, which in Greek just means a spirit. It could be a good spirit or a bad spirit, a eudaimon or a kakodaimon. We get the word demon. Koimeterion is a sleeping place, and through some craziness, so the K becomes a C, the I becomes OE, and then the O drops out. We get the word cemetery. Kryptos, krypton, which is a Greek word. It means hidden, and we get the word crypt. And a crypt is, a place where you would bury a body. Lukos is wolf, and anthropos, man, so we get the word lycanthropy. Magus is a sorcerer, and we get the word magic or the word magician. Moneo is to warn, and we get the word monster eventually. The word monstrum is actually a word in Latin as well. It means monster. Petrus is rock, and we get the word petrify. It means to make solid like rock. So if you're petrified, you just can't move. You're like stone. The word phinain is to bring light, and we get the word phantom or the word phantasm. Skelesthai, it means to dry up, and we get the word skeleton because when your body dries up, all that's left is your skeleton. And you have supersto, which means to stand over, and we get the word superstition.